Hi friends, so today for math, we are going to work on a whole different way of learning. We are going to learn how to divide. So I am going to share my screen with you. Right now, you need to have your math notebook. You need to have your math notebook, and I am going to share my screen so that we can talk a little bit about division. Okay, and of course, give me 1 second so I can share it again because it is not wanting to share. All right, so in your math book, I actually want you to turn to the next 2 blank pages, okay? Because we're gonna do a lot of practicing, and nice and big, I want you to write division. You are officially a 3rd grader. You have learned how to multiply, and now you are learning how to divide. How exciting. All right, so we know when we multiply, we're joining groups together. Well, division is different. It's the opposite. Division is when you separate and put things into different groups. So for division, we want to write is to separate things into equal groups. Okay, so division is the opposite of multiplication, because in multiplication we join things, groups together. In division, we are separating them. So you should have that written down, and that is all we're going to write about division, because now I am going to have you watch the video. How many groups should you put this voice on? All right, well, let's stop and think about that. They said 3 friends are sharing the toys, right? So what do you think? Do you think 3 groups? Let's see. Okay, so he always interrupts me. So if you look, how many, what's the total, what's the big number? So if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 toys. So it says which part of the bar diagram shows the total number of toys. So is it the top with the 12, or is it the bottom with the 3? What do you think? The total number is the big one, so it's the top. Nice job. What does the 3 stand for? The 3 what? Monkeys? No. The 3 friends that are trying to split these 12 monkeys into equal groups. Yep. All right, so if we try it, let's see. Every time I'm putting it into the different, or giving it to the different friend, right? So then they all have one. So I'm going to start over. And I'm going to make sure that they each have 2. All right. So now I'm going to keep going. They each have 3. And then let's see, is there enough for each of them to have one more? So if you look, this was the 12 monkeys up at the top. These boxes represent our 3 friends, and I was able to put 4 monkeys in each friend's group. Well, we just talked about that. Do you remember multiplication means what? Joining, right? Division means separating. Ooh, all right. So let's switch back over to our math notebooks. And they gave us the first problem that we are going to do. Okay, they said we still have 12 monkeys, right? But this time we're dividing it between how many friends? 4, right? So we need to figure out how many monkeys does each friend get. Well, let's kind of talk about what these numbers stand for. So if you look at 12, the first number when you divide always has to be the biggest number, okay? So it has to be the greatest number out of your group of numbers. So it has to be the greatest number. And it's the one that you are separating into equal groups. So the first number has to be the greatest number, and it's the number that you're dividing. It's the number that you are separating or splitting up. All right, so what does the 4 stand for? So we have 12 monkeys, and yeah, it does stand for 4 friends in this word problem, right? But the 4 stands for how many groups this big number has to go into. So for the middle number, it stands for how many groups our biggest number is going into. So then the answer to a division problem has a very fancy mathematician name. It is called the quotient. Say it with me, quotient. And that is how many are in each group. Okay, well, let's practice. Let's solve this problem. All right, so if we were doing our bar diagram like in the video, we know the top number is the total number of monkeys or whatever we're separating. Then down at the bottom, the actual bar part has to have that many groups. So remember, they did squares like a bar. So they had, in the video, they had 3 friends. So they had 3 squares. We have 4 friends. So we're going to have 4 boxes because that stands for our 4 friends. So now, what do? Well, we had to start separating 12. So if this friend gets 1, then this friend gets 1, then this friend gets 1, and this friend gets 1. We have to keep going until we get to 12. So count with me. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's keep dividing them. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. We're at 12. So we just equally divided 12 monkeys to our 4 friends. So how many are in each group? What is the answer to our division problem or the quotient? It is 3. All right, feel pretty good? I'm going to have you try 2 more on the next page. So what if I have this problem? I have 14 divided by 2, all right? And we want to find the quotient, what it equals. And I'm going to go back real quick and remind you of something. Multiplication and division are opposite of each other, right? But you can check your division with multiplication. So look here. Does 3 times 4 equal 12? Yes. So here we are dividing, but we can also use multiplication to help us. We can say, what times 2 equals 14? And that's how we'll check our work. So let's look at 14. We know the greatest number is the number that we are separating into equal groups. So that goes at the top of our bar diagram, right? And then we know that the 2, or the middle number, is how many groups there are. How many groups we are putting that big number into. So how many boxes am I going to draw under 14? 2, right? And then what's our next step? We are taking 14 and we are equally putting them into each group. So do it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So how many are in each group? Now, when you divide, this group should always have the same as this group because they have to be equal. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check your work. Make sure this one has 7 too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we can work backwards like we did with our multiplication. Does 7 times 2 equal 14? Yes, it does. All right, I'm going to have you try one by yourself. So we have 12, and we are going to divide it into 6 different groups. So I want you to pause me right now, and I want you to make your bar graph diagram. I want you to divide 12 into how many equal groups? I'm not going to tell you yet. And what do you get for your quotient? Pause me, and when you're ready, we'll check our work together. All right, so you should have drawn your graph diagram, and you should have had your biggest number on top, which was what? 12. And you should have divided it into how many groups? 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I'm taking 12 and I'm equally putting it into each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can look right away and see each group has an equal number. And what's the equal number? What's the quotient? It is 2. And then we can always check our work by saying 2 times 6, it does equal 12. So that is how you divide, my friends. In a few minutes, you will see me again, and we will be working in our math notebooks. Sorry, not our math notebooks, our math workbooks together. All right? Good job on your division today. Give me a high five, and I will see you soon. Bye.